With murder, plea of not guilty will be entered.
Morning, Your Honor. Peter McGuire for the Commonwealth. Your Honor, the Commonwealth is asking that the defendant, Eugenio Lopes, be held without bail. In support of that, Your Honor, offer the following summary of facts. On Saturday, June 6, 2009, Detective Almeida from the Brockton Police was on patrol in the area of Cardozo's Bar on Montello Street. He noticed a crowd acting in an excited manner on Montello Street. He exited his vehicle after turning his lights on. He heard a woman scream he was stabbed. He turned around and discovered the victim, Jose Algongon Morales, lying on the ground on Montello Street. He called an ambulance. Mr. Gongon was seen to by the ambulance personnel and transported to Brockton Hospital. Officers began investigating. The witnesses at the scene indicated that the victim had been in a fight with one other individual, and that he had been stabbed. They couldn't know two stab wounds on his body visible to the officers at the scene. Officers at the scene were informed by officers who had headed to Brockton Hospital to continue the investigation with the victim that the victim had been pronounced dead a little after 2:30 in the morning that same evening. Witnesses were interviewed, particularly one young lady, and informed the officers that she knew the person who had been involved in the altercation with the victim was known to her as Djaka or DJ Aka. It is pronounced or spelled D-J-O-C-K-A. That she had cell phone numbers for him. A reverse check of those cell phone numbers. Those telephone numbers came back to the defendant, Eugenio Lopes. The officers headed to Mr. Lopes' residence. He was eventually located at that residence. He was taken into custody. Lieutenant Banaka indicates that he did recognize him from a DVD that he had viewed as being the party that the witness had called DJ Aka. The defendant was brought back to the police station. He was Mirandized. He waived those rights. He was interviewed on a recorded interview with the officers, and he did make a confession of murder at that time, Your Honor. Based on that, Your Honor, rather a look at the defendant's court probation record shows that he was a committed youth for a violent crime, that being an armed robbery. He does have some recent acquittals on his record. He's about 18 years old. Actually, strike that he is 25 years old, 24 years old. I'd suggest, Your Honor, that based on charges against him, that he should be held without bail.
Yes, Your Honor. I object to acquittals being used against my client. My client's a 25-year-old young man. He works at Concord Foods. He's a machine operator. He's worked there for 5 years. He lives in Brockton. He lives with his mother, his wife, and his brother and a cousin. Prior to working for Concord Machines, he worked for Nutramax, again, as a machine operator. He has been somebody who has worked since he got out of school. Went to Brockton High School as far as the 11th grade, Your Honor. If you take a look at his record, it's a very minimal record, and I mean, just about everything on it is ended up dismissed. And I don't see defaults on his record. He comes to court. When the police went to his house, they knocked at the door. He came out voluntarily. He said, "I'm Eugenio." He went with them voluntarily. He spoke with them voluntarily. What he is saying is that he was I believe what he is saying is that he was at a bar and that he was being attacked by two people at the time. Unfortunately, it ended up the way it ended up. But I think that bail is appropriate in this case, Your Honor, and I suggest that a reasonable bail be set.
Your Honor, if I may, I made one mistake in my argument. I just want to clear it up. I was given a different Eugenio Lopes record earlier this morning. The one for counsel's client does not indicate what I indicated to the court earlier about the prior violent offense. Just didn't want that to be unfairly put on the record for the defendant. It doesn't change at all my recommendation.
I would order that he be held without bail.
That's going to take the mind control. We're asking for July 9th at 2 o'clock, if that's possible. We'll waive the 30 days for that. Mr. Lopes, your matter is continued to July 9th at 9 o'clock for probable cause. We ask that that can be done at 2 o'clock already.
Motion for front of the warrant.
You're held without bail, Mr. Lopes. Mr. Lopes, if you get charged with another offense, well, this case is pending. You can be held at the jail for up to 60 days without the chance of being bailed out.
What's the date of this?
July 9th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Thank you.